Have you ever wondered how our brains are wired to set and achieve goals? Like why it is almost impossible to achieve the goals that we identify for ourselves on 1st of January every new year? Why do we drop some of these goals midway? Let's get behind the science of goal setting. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who did watch my last video, you know that I'm on a sabbatical right now and I'm using this time to do two things. Number one, read up on random weird topics like goal setting. And second, I'm also using this time to build something on the side, which we'll talk about some other day. But one thing that I've realized during this break is that it's really hard to be accountable to the goals that you set. It's just very hard to do it, especially when you're working by yourself. Lucky for me, Andrew Huberman, I'm sure a bunch of you have heard about him, but for those who haven't, he's a neuroscientist at Stanford and also happens to be one of the best podcasters in the world. He came out with a video on exactly this topic, the science behind goal setting, just a few days back. And it's an amazing podcast, 1.5 hours long, filled with amazing information. I highly recommend that you go and listen to it. I've added a link of it in my bio. But today, I just want to spend some time highlighting the key takeaways for me from that information. In order to increase our probability of achieving our goals, the first step that we need to take is to set the right goals. And I know this is something that I feel I have been doing wrong almost all my life, at least after listening to Huberman. So what are the 5 tools that you can use to set the right goals? Number 1 is to choose 1 or 2 priority goals. It's no surprise that research shows that there are higher chances of success when we pick a priority goal. Now, this doesn't mean that you leave everything else about your life and just run after this one goal. We all know that doesn't go well. You need balance in life. But what this means is that instead of being distracted by trying to pursue multiple goals, you know that you're going to be increasing your probability of achieving just one goal. So I suggest that you start by writing and making a list of all the goals that you think are necessary for, say this year, 3 months, whatever that timeline might look like, and then narrow down on 1 or at the most 2 priority goals. Tool number 2, set lofty goals. So research has shown that if you set your goal too low, then it's not going to result in enough arousal in the brain to continuously pursue it. According to Huberman, anxiety, frustration, discomfort pursuing a goal can set certain changes in your neural circuits in the brain that allow for better future performance. I thought this was very interesting. So basically, what we all need to do when we are thinking about performance levels while setting a goal is to think of a slightly higher performance level than we think we can comfortably achieve. Now, this doesn't mean that, set a goal which is absolutely impossible to pursue, but just find a slightly higher bar for yourself to target than what you can comfortably achieve. Tool number 3 is to make your goals specific, measurable, that is quantifiable. I think this is the most important part when it comes to goal setting. So when, define the goal in terms of certain verb actions. What are the actions that you're going to be taking? This will make it specific. And then in order to make it measurable and quantifiable, think about the timeline that you will need to achieve this goal and then break that down into the steps that you would have to take within that timeline to achieve the goal. So while being specific and setting certain measurable metrics is easier to do for goals like running, it is a little bit harder to do for goals which are more abstract, like if you say I want to be a better writer. So let's take an example for something abstract. A badly defined goal would be I want to be a better writer, but a well-defined goal would be I want to write for 1 hour for 3 days every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for the next 12 weeks in order to become a better writer. The idea here is to give yourself certain quantifiable metrics that you can measure your progress against. Tool number 4 is very simple. It's basically that instead of typing this goal out, write it down on pen and paper. Science still shows that the best way to embed knowledge in your brain is by writing it down. Maybe with evolution, several generations later, this may change given that how much we rely on technology now. But for now, this still remains a fact that the more you write something, it's going to get embedded in your brain and create a greater impression than typing it out. Tool number 5 is avoiding the accountability fallacy. So what does this mean? This is an interesting one. There are many people who believe that if they announce their goals in public, it will hold them accountable to actually achieve them. But contrary to popular belief, this can do exactly the opposite. It can actually diminish motivation to achieve those goals. So, scientific research has shown that when you go ahead and share these goals with your friends and family, you may receive positive encouragement to go ahead, and they may say, oh, great, that's amazing. You should go ahead and try this. And such positive motivation can set or activate certain motivation systems in your brain that can diminish the probability of you actually taking the steps to pursue this goal. So there you have it, the science behind goal setting and the tools that you need to actually set goals the right way so that you can unlock the full potential of your brain. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and do share this with your friends. Until next time.